This whole twin flame phenomena is blowing my mind. I think that I may have smashed through the last of my skepticism on spiritual concepts. And I think that if I hadn't experienced this for myself, then there's no way that I would have subscribed to it at all. But this is off the rails, seriously. So in previous videos, I've talked about telltale signs like the energy when meeting the person, right? Then the synchronicities, angel numbers everywhere, unavoidable. Couldn't catch myself a break from it. And logically not being able to explain why I felt so strongly about this person, like I already knew them. And then other strange things too. So my twin at one point in our conversation had said, it's like we've been living parallel lives. That's not an accident. Another thing that they said was, I feel like Scotland's my home. However, I've been told that it would be difficult for them to do what they do in this country, Canada, which is connected with the art world, right? So here's an interesting, not a coincidence. I'm Scottish and I lived in Scotland my whole life. And not only that, I had a deep interest in art from a young age. And I spent part of my childhood in a town that was a former very important artist colony. And just to get to grips with what has actually happened to me with this, and to understand certain experiences that I've had and I've been having, I've been watching YouTube videos and like things are just clicking into place. Because one strange experience that I had was feeling what my twin was feeling when we weren't even together. This is telepathy. There's no other way to describe it. And even now during the separation period, especially when there's like key astrological events going on, what I've noticed is I'll have a couple of days just flooded with past life memories, you know, of my relationships that I've had with this person. And then the current day feelings that I'm accidentally tuning into have really taken a long time to get used to. And I'm now at a point of surrender with it. But believe me, when I was still processing the separation event, this is not something that I was welcoming, but I can't stop it, so I just have to surrender. I was watching a video on twin flame telepathy, and apparently this could have been going on our entire lives. Apparently it's very common for twins to have unexplainable feelings, unexplained illnesses, etc., that when it's all put together connect with what their twin was also experiencing in childhood. So I think it's really interesting how my twin has always felt as if Scotland is her home. And just reflecting on what a challenge it is to be someone like me who's always thinking about how I can be a clear channel to do my work. And therefore, I'm so energetically sensitive to everything. And that's amazing because that means that I can do these transformational readings. But I always felt with having a knowledge of my twin's astrology was like opening up my Christmas presents too early. I feel like I was so excited about what I was seeing on the soul blueprint level that I neglected the fact that this is someone who is actually quite alienated from the soul blueprint at the moment. And before the separation period, this was something that I really grieved, because I would think, oh, this is really exciting, you know, like this is my twin flame, and I'm really happy that I've met them, and I'm really happy that we're in contact. And even though things feel a bit difficult from time to time, it's not going to stay like that forever. But that's the thing, because looking at the level of alienation that my twin had had from what I was seeing in the astrology, and also knowing that it was like my twin's about 5 steps behind where I am, which is great because it means that there's huge potentiality for recovery and like soul consciousness. But before it was taken out of my hands, I used to look at the situation and think, but I know how long it took me to get where I am. So how long can I wait? And I think that's pretty common in these types of relationships, because twin flames are mirrors of each other. And if you think about what it's like to look in a mirror when you love yourself and you see all these beautiful parts of yourself and you really love it and you're grateful for it, and then you see parts of yourself that maybe you had a more difficult relationship with previously, and you just have such a deep compassion for the way that you felt, and you can look at yourself and recognize your humanness and also recognize your divinity. And one thing that had kept coming through actually via my medium before the separation was like, this woman's jealous of you. And I was like, why? I don't understand that. And it's never something that I've experienced with a partner before, but one of my friends who is now actually a medium and has recovered, but has a memory of what this felt like before she had this recovery. She's like, you've got to understand what it's like when you're out of touch with yourself and you're looking to the external world and everything's abrasive to you because it's rubbing up your feeling of lack because you don't feel whole. It's not that you can't be, it's just that you need things to be lesser than you so that you can be more. So then that got me thinking on what it's like to look into a mirror when you hate yourself, when you don't like what you see, and how insecure that makes you, and how angry that makes you, and how triggered that makes you. And that makes me feel sad, but there's nothing that I can do apart from surrender to this process and trust that the more I heal myself, because of this incredible soul relationship that I have with my twin, and all twins have, that me healing myself is going to directly help her in the most effective way possible, in the same way that it's going to help everyone in my soul group, but especially her, because twin flames are here agreeing to teach each other lessons throughout this incarnation. And I can certainly see the beautiful lessons that being treated in that way has given me, and how much growth has came from that and healing. And I think that being grateful for that, whilst also being grateful for the fact that I've met my twin, being grateful that I know that my twin is healthy, being grateful that I know how much potential I have and she has, and just coming to terms with giving the whole thing up to the universe, you know. And that's my personal story.